What's up, YouTube fam? Y'all can definitely tell that I'm ready for bed. My hair looks 50 shades of whack. I took off pretty much almost all my makeup except for this. I can't get that off because like the underneath part of my eye is like super sensitive. So I just kind of had to leave it. But up here, I have nothing. But I'm ready for bed. Obviously, you can tell. Kind of looks scary. But I just kind of wanted to jump up here because last night the same three federal agents that have been harassing me for about approximately almost close to 3 years now. Um, the three of them came, um, and they tried to kidnap me. And I was walking towards the back of my complex because I had heard what sounded like 10 rounds of like a rifle being shot. And so at that that concerned me greatly. At that point. And so I'm like, I can't rest, knowing that my kids and I could potentially be jeopardizing our well-being. Any parent would have that concern, really. So at the end of everything, I was only walking, I kid you not, for like about 6 seconds when I got midway to the back, and that's when I noticed this really, really strange vehicle. They fucked up by having a window down because that's how I heard that they were looking for me. Um, and at that point, I knew that it had nothing to do with what had transpired, but it had everything to do with me. And so I ended up having to hide between um, a wall and something else. And then as I'm running back, I almost fell on my stomach, which pretty much everybody would have known the direction that would have gone. Would have been awful. But glory be to God that, I suppose when you truly are a child of God, He really, truly watches after you because He saw to it that I regained my balance, that I didn't hurt the baby. Like, I was okay. And because the direction that I was gonna fall was directly flat on my stomach, so it could had only ended awfully. You know what I mean? And so fast forward to today, right? And basically, um, you know, I didn't feel comfortable leaving my house for a couple of hours, even though today was Saturday and tomorrow's Sunday. Even though it's the weekend, and all that, because my person is how I'm gonna code it, okay, is working. And I don't feel comfortable, doing these kinds of things alone. Never mind that. It looked like they had some kind of lethal injection. Cause at one point I swear on my life I seen one of them reach into their pocket. So that's honestly what it looked like to me. It did not look like a phone. It looked like some type of fucking injection. And so that's when I'm like, oh fuck no, And so I basically, made a run for it. And that's when I told you I almost fell flat on my stomach, and it would have been really bad for the baby. But glory be to God that, as a child of God, He really does watch after His kids. And you know, I was able to regain my balance and continue to run, believe it or not. I ended up not, you know, being kidnapped or anything like that. And I feel like a lot of you don't really understand the full caliber. Go ahead, Bella. I feel like a lot of you don't understand the caliber of what I'm doing, but I am a civil rights activist. I am a freedom fighter, a medical freedom patriot. It just really, really covers an array of different topics, okay? What I mean by medical freedom patriot, and I am looking into getting my own Patreon, so just bear with me. But basically, a medical freedom fighter is somebody who fights for medical freedom. What does that entail? Your freedom to decide what kind of medical care you or your loved ones or your children will receive or get in the future or now, depending on your current situation and circumstances. And so, one of my biggest things is forced inoculation. I am so against it. It's stupid. You got to understand, in today's society, we have a lot, and I mean a lot of sheep. A lot of us activists feel like when it comes to the sheep, honestly, it's too late to continue to open their eyes. It takes somebody who has not been affected, somebody who in fact is still intact, their spirit and their soul, somebody who hasn't taken this dark concoction. I'm not going to say what, but y'all know what I mean. All right? Because once you get it, you're no longer, your DNA's changed. You are like a physical, living, fallen angel. In terms, a demon. And you got to understand the prophetic and biblical times that we're living in. We are actively living in the end times, people. So don't stray away from your path of the righteous. I can't emphasize this enough. I used to be a former atheist, okay? I was hardcore atheist. I was like, screw this, screw that, screw it. No. I had such the backwards attitude, and I am so grateful, that I was redeemed, that I was made new, that, I am now seen as his daughter. And I really believe that it was an act of God last night, that I didn't fall flat on my stomach and affect the baby badly. I really think it was a true act of God. But I'm immensely blessed for that. Even though today I did wake up, I had like some kind of muscular pain. And it feels like the baby is kind of sitting, like half of her torso, if that makes sense, is like sitting on my hip bone. And then the other half is like facing the inside of my stomach, which is a very, very, very peculiar, really uncomfortable, incredibly painful, strange way to be. But that's how she is because of the way I almost fell. But, God, man, he's amazing. I just can't get over that because I was supposed to face something awful. And through something awful came something miraculous and beautiful. Like, he literally helped me to restore my balance. He really saw to it that the baby that I'm carrying right now was not badly affected at all, like in any way, shape, or form. And I'm like thankful to the Creator, to God, whatever you want to call him, however you see him. I am so thankful because my baby is okay, causing me a lot of pain, but okay. If I had fallen on my stomach, most likely the baby would not have made it. I would have been in the hospital whether I wanted to or not. And, there was so much room for bad right there. But God really does bless those who put their full belief within him. And, thankfully, I didn't fall, you guys. Like, I was straight out supposed to, and I didn't. Like, it was insane the way it happened. Like, straight up, like, I was supposed to fall flat on my stomach, and a whole bunch of other awful stuff was supposed to happen. But God is gracious. He is sufficient. He is enough. And I literally was able to regain my physical balance and to continue getting the hell away from these agents that were trying to kidnap me. And believe when I tell you, they had some of the most dark, evil intentions. And I'm not going to go into full detail because, ears and eyes, okay? Think about that. But I will say that I'm blessed because my baby is okay. I'm okay. Neither one of us got hurt. My other 4 kids who are here already, they're okay. And so much more. And a lot of you are probably wondering, like, what the hell? I'm telling you, I feel like it was a true act of God. Because I was supposed to fall on my stomach, y'all. And you know what the crazy part of it all is? Is that my older sister gave me these almost $250 shoes. And I really believe that also played a major factor as to why I didn't fall. As to why I was able to actually regain my balance. And, my baby's okay. It's miraculous. It's a miracle. It's a blessing. I can't express my gratitude to God enough. Like, I'm so beside myself. I'm like, dude, I was supposed to fall on my stomach, be severely hurt, end up in the hospital, and worst. But God sustained my balance. He saw to it that the little baby that I'm carrying stayed safe. He saw to it that I made it home. I mean, I'm in my, when all this happened, I was in the back of my complex. Because I wanted to make sure and have that assurance that we were going to be okay, that we were going to be able to go to bed and not be attacked or molded by crazy people or whatever, you know what I mean? But, by an act of God, my newborn baby, she's okay. I'm okay. I'm in a lot of pain because of the position that everything happened, but I'm okay. And, I think now it's just, I recognize more now than ever that, wow, y'all, God really, really watched over my newborn baby, because it could have been so backwards. It could have ended so badly. And, glory be to God, like nothing happened. My baby is okay. I'm okay. I ended up not being kidnapped, etc. And, we're okay. And this is what I mean. Like, I don't think a lot of you truly sit down and take the time to think about those of the few of us who are civil rights activists, who are the ones that are going the actual extra, mile, who are really, really fighting the system for your rights, for your children's rights, for your parents' rights, your siblings, and so on. And it's crazy to me, because I have dedicated almost the majority of my life to fighting civil rights and medical freedom rights for children and for adults. But, I'm going to continue to fight the good fight until, God calls me home, and, it's been placed in my destiny to save humanity. One of the most biggest things is to save humanity from what we're currently facing. And this is what the enemy doesn't want to happen. I believe that's why I'm under so much intense spiritual warfare. And if y'all think just because you're agnostic or atheist that you're free from spiritual warfare, I have a very scary, crude awakening for you. It will affect you as well, regardless if you want to see it or not. So for that reason, I say choose a side that you want to, believe in. But I'm telling you right now, the way of the darkness is not something to play around with. It is not a way you want to go. And I just implore you to examine yourself, your circumstances, your life, and try to come to the light. Try to be of love and of peace and of balance, most importantly. But like I said, the newborn baby, she's doing really, really well. Even though right now she's on my bone and driving me absolutely nuts. I'm hoping that my husband gets back at the end of the week and he's like able to fix me or something like that. Because good Lord, this girl weighs a ton already. And she's like literally sitting right on my hip bone. And it's so painful, you guys. I wish y'all could feel what I'm feeling. But again, it has to do with the way like I almost fell. I think like I pulled like a muscle or a tendon or something, and so it presents that difficulty for me to walk. Well, like I went to Costco today because I needed some supplies, and so I had the most absurd, strange, hardest time walking, and it was like literally to a point that people were like walking on the sides of me. They were like actually trying to walk, and crash into my kids and me. It was just, an insane time because everybody who shops at Sam's Club or Costco, y'all know how hectic it gets. Y'all know just how many people are there and what kind of food supply they're really after. But with that being said, y'all, I'm blessed because the little baby on the way is okay. Like I said, I was supposed to fall and I was supposed to be severely injured. And, by an act of God, it was I'm telling you guys, it literally was the weirdest thing that I have experienced thus this far. Like, I was supposed to fall on my stomach. I was supposed to end up in the ER. And I didn't. Like, God really watched over me during that time. Like, straight up, y'all. Like, he saw to it that the newborn baby wasn't injured. He saw to it that I wasn't hurt myself. He saw to it that spiritually we had like a bubble around us and like we were okay. It was the most awkward experience, but amazing at the same time. And I can't express my gratitude to God enough. And I just hope that whether I end up going to see a specialist or waiting on my husband so that he can get the baby off of my hip bone, whew, good Lord, I hope that is sooner than later. Because right now, no way. Y'all, I'm telling you, to have the baby on your bone, it is excruciating. But my baby girl is okay and thriving. So that's all I care about. And as long as she's good, I'm good. And as long as we got smiles, then we all smile. And that's truly what matters. And, like I said, it could have ended a complete opposite direction. Like, I straight up could have had a really bad outcome. But, like I said, because I'm a child of the light, an indigo child, a child of God, the one true king, whatever you want to call it, a child of the creator, he really, truly watched after me wholly. Like, literally, he did not allow nothing evil or dark to hurt the baby. God saw to it that the baby and me didn't get injured. He like straight up saw to it that I was able to regain my physical balance, and he saw to it that I made it home. So I am so thankful on so many levels. And I just can't express my gratitude enough. And I'll just end up in this note that, express your gratitude and appreciation for your loved ones because, you never know. You absolutely never know when tomorrow will be the last time that you see your loved ones. So you may never even be promised that second opportunity to express your gratitude and appreciation for whether it be your husband, wife, sister, brother, dad, mom, or grandparents, or cousins, whatever. So don't take their presence for granted. Express your gratitude, your humility, your devotion and commitment to them. You know what I mean? Don't take that for granted. Like, show it straight up. Show your gratitude, show your humility, show your appreciation for your loved ones and even your own children. Because you're never promised tomorrow. Like I said, last night I was supposed to be severely injured. Really severely injured in the hospital. And, I was supposed to have to call my husband. Hey, I need you home. I'm in the hospital, X, Y, and Z. The whole... And so, basically, to sum it up, God was really watching over the newborn baby and physically watching over me. It was the weirdest thing, y'all. I swear. It was like, I felt like as if I had some kind of, something on the back of me that just, it like propped me back up and I regained my balance for real. Like, it was just so miraculous and such a miracle and a blessing. I was in awe and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you know what? I gotta hurry up and get home before more bad stuff happens. But by an act of God, the baby's okay. I'm okay. I didn't end up getting kidnapped and worse, and we're okay. But I will make this one final point that it doesn't matter what you face in your life, because when you are truly a child of the light, you are blessed for that. And like last night, I've said it like 3 times already. I can't get over how God saved the life of my newborn baby and of myself. These people who were there to hurt me had very evil, very dark intentions. And, it was really an act of God that not only did I get away, not only that I was able to regain my physical balance, but we are okay. And that's what I mean. When you have full belief in something, miracles and blessings take place. They happen. Because I was supposed to be in the hospital, getting most likely bad news. And I'm not. My baby's okay. I'm okay. My kids are, the ones who are already here, are okay as well. We were a little spooked by everything, and I stayed up really late to make sure that my kids were okay. But it was worth it, because it gave the kids a sense of security. The fact that, nothing happened to me was a blessing, because they were too slow to catch up to me. And like I said, at some point I would swear on it, I saw like what looked like a syringe needle. So I know for a fact they had some kind of crazy ass lethal injection. And I just am curious to find out where the fuck they're getting that stuff from. And I want to know exactly who sent them on that mission. Because I promise you, if I find out who's the one doing it, you're going to hear from me. And it's going to be whether you want to or not. So, I just wanted to end this vlog on a positive note. To always express your gratitude, humility, and appreciation for your husbands, wives, children, your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, pretty much everybody, because you're never promised tomorrow. I also failed to mention that I just got done losing one of my dearest cousins about 2.5 weeks ago now. And I find closure knowing that he's with God. But, it's painful because he was just a beautiful soul. Absolutely remarkable human being. And he's gone. He is gone. But I know that he's resting. I know that he's finally in peace. And he's going to be all right. But please make it a point to express your humility, appreciation, and gratitude for your children, your husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, parents, grandparents, and cousins. Don't ever take their presence for granted, because tomorrow is never promised today. Remember that.